If you've ever come home from a wildlife shoot, looked through your photos and thought, man, I just need a better lens, I want to stop you right there. Because chances are it's not your camera and it's not your lens that's holding you back. You could buy the sharpest lens, the newest camera body, or spend thousands of dollars on gear and still come home with photos that don't feel alive. The truth is, what's keeping you from getting the wildlife shots you want has nothing to do with your gear or your camera or your lens, and everything to do with how you see, think, and behave out in the field.
But you're stronger than you know. You'll never be alone when everything feels dark.
Hey, I'm Jeff, a professional wildlife photographer living in Charleston, South Carolina. If you're new to the channel, I want to welcome you in. And if you're returning to the channel, I want to welcome you back. Hey, don't forget, I have several free guides for you that you can check out over at my store. Just head on over to magnoliaphotographysc.com/store and you can download and check them out today. With that being said, let's jump in and discuss 5 reasons why you're not getting the wildlife photos you want and why it's not your camera or your gear's fault. Number 1, the comfort trap. Most photographers are trapped by comfort. And truth be told, it doesn't really matter what we are talking about. Whenever humans are engaging in some sort of activity, they often limit themselves because they gravitate to what makes them feel comfortable, not the one thing that will necessarily make them successful. And there's a very big difference between the two. Usually when something feels good to us or comfortable to us, it's not going to necessarily lead us to success. But when we find ourselves in situations of achieving great success, we often feel very uncomfortable. It's very funny how life kind of works that way. Photographers go out when it's convenient. They shoot off the trail or pack it in when the light isn't perfect, or maybe pack it in when the weather isn't that great. But the best wildlife moments, the real magic, they live just beyond our comfort zone. It's the cold mornings, the misty days, the fluffy snow, the long sits, the mosquito bites, the hours where nothing happens until suddenly everything does. Number 2, you're looking, but just not seeing. Most photographers scan too quickly. They look for the obvious subjects, big movement, bright color, and they overlook all of the subtle signs that are right in front of them. Every great wildlife photo begins with observation. Close your eyes and take a minute to listen to the sounds going on all around you. Then open your eyes and slowly scan the area. Notice the patterns, small shadows, the flick of a tail through grass. When you slow down, the wild starts to reveal itself. Number 3, you're relying on luck, not knowledge. Luck absolutely plays a role in wildlife photography, regardless of your skill. For you to be standing in the perfect position as an osprey swoops out of the sky to grab a fish from the water, it's pretty lucky. Sure, your research certainly helped you to determine they frequent this area around certain times of the day. And your research told you that ospreys tend to gravitate towards this type of habitat. But to actually be there at that precise moment is pretty lucky. But the best photographers don't rely on luck. They do their research and they stack the odds. They understand animal behavior. They know when a heron likes to fish at sunrise or when a deer is going to pass through that clearing in a field. Knowledge turns chance encounters into predictable opportunities. I remember one late afternoon sitting by a pond. I had watched an osprey for weeks and weeks sitting in the same tree as he scanned the pond, just waiting for his next meal. I learned his habits, his routine. And then one day he left his perch and dove straight into the water, only to reappear and fly away holding a fish in his talons. To anyone else looking on, it would have appeared as total luck. But the truth of the matter is, it wasn't. Sure, I was lucky I was at the pond at that precise time. He certainly could have been hanging out in many other locations. But on the flip side, because I had been studying this osprey for weeks and weeks, I was more familiar with his routine. I knew what to anticipate, and I got the shot. This shot was not total luck. It was knowledge. It was strategic. It was patience, and it was persistence. Number 4, you're shooting without a story. A lot of photographers just shoot whatever appears. They go out in the field, they get their equipment set up, they're doing a great job of sitting quietly, waiting patiently for that wildlife to appear, but then the minute something moves, they jump on the shutter button without any thought or intent. Here's the thing. Great photos say something. They have emotion, a story. Ask yourself, before you press that shutter, what story am I telling with this image? Is it about power, stillness, struggle, beauty? When you shoot with intention, you stop taking random, meaningless pictures, and you start creating photographs that communicate feelings and emotion. Number 5, you've lost the connection. And maybe the biggest reason you're not getting the photos you want is that somewhere along the way, you lost your connection to nature. You started chasing the shot instead of chasing the experience. We have all been guilty of this. We become really kind of hyper-focused on the results. And that, my friends, usually leads us down a bad path. Hey, I've been there too. Frustrated, rushing, forcing moments that weren't meant to happen or weren't even there. These are just the mistakes of inexperienced or desperate wildlife photographers. Maybe the past couple of times out, you haven't seen much in the way of wildlife. So you start forcing everything. But wildlife photography is a conversation, not just a capture. When you reconnect, when you're still, the wild starts to trust you again. And that's when the real magic begins. So if you've been blaming wildlife or blaming your gear, maybe it's time to look somewhere else. Focus less on nature and your camera and more on how you see, think, and feel out in the field. Because when you do that, your photography will change forever. If you're looking for a new photo editing program this year, I would highly recommend you go check out DxO Photolab 9. This is the program I use and trust for all of my photo editing. They have industry-leading noise reduction features, and with the release of Photolab 9, they now have AI masking tools that are going to help you streamline your editing process. And when you combine their new AI masking tools with their previous generation masking tools, you have some pretty amazing control over your photo editing. Use the link in the show notes below. This will take you right on over to DxO and you can check it out for yourself. If you decide that you want to purchase Photolab 9, just be sure to use my discount code at the time of checkout. That is Magnolia. It will save you 15% off on your purchase. If you're not quite ready to make a purchase, be sure to download a 30-day free trial where you can try out the entire program for a full 30 days with absolutely zero restrictions. And hey, if you're worried about learning Photolab 9, no worries. I got you covered there as well. Just head on over to my store, magnoliaphotographysc.com/store, and you can check out my DxO Photolab 9 Masterclass, where I teach you everything that you need to know to create professional looking images. Hey, thank you so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate you carving out some time from your day to spend it with me. But before you go, you might want to stick around and check out this next video right here.